Chapter 23. The Wizard of Oz finds Alice in Wonderland. And they meet the Wicked Witch of the West.
I was impatient from lack of progress in the law enforcement investigation. Kaylee was, quote, missing from the home for 31 days. There was no real evidence being found. Cindy and George were in full stride, for 6 months, misleading law enforcement. The investigators never considered that an entire family would cover up what was clearly a murder of their 2-year-old child. The possibility of such deception was not in my thoughts when I began researching this story. I didn't want to believe such things about Cindy in particular. But by now, I had accumulated my doubts. I could see what law enforcement was not able to see. I looked at the evidence with an open mind. That is what defines my role here. I had evidence that was never seen by the public. And it was clear. This family was embroiled in internal battles that became existential to each of them. Their infighting created a mystery that left law enforcement, the public, and the media, passive observers of their false narrative. We all sang from the songbook that this family composed. It was fantasy music. Cindy's melody transported us into an alternative universe, the one she created as Alpha, inside Hope Spring Drive. I realized it was a mistake for anyone to believe Cindy about anything.
The Chronicler. My reporter heard the sour notes in Cindy's music, and I am grateful for the excellent research he provided. I was shocked to read the reporter's evidence files that Casey couldn't have a job for 2 years, from her fear of leaving Kaylee alone, anywhere near her father. 2 years was how long Casey had to pretend to have a job, as the only way to protect her baby. When I saw that Cindy secretly paid Casey's expenses for 2 years, that brought clarity to how the Hope Spring Drive's alternative universe functioned. Cindy told everyone, and even her son Lee, that Casey had a good job. The Zenny lie was a linchpin for all the other lies Cindy told to hide the fact that she and Casey couldn't leave Kaylee alone with Cindy's husband, George. The moat around the crimes occurring inside Hope Spring Drive had to be impenetrable. No one could know Cindy invented a fake caregiver for Kaylee, just to keep Casey's baby, the youngest new female in the family, safe from George. Kaylee would be vulnerable during the day when he was home from work. But my reporter saw that Cindy was actually protecting George from himself. Cindy made up the fake Zenny, so that the family's secrets could remain hidden inside Hope Spring Drive, where she was Alpha. At times, I felt like I was held captive by this family just from reading the metaphors my reporter included in his memos. My reporter made mental comparisons to the evil witch, in the Oz story. The witch hated Dorothy's innocence, which in his narrative, was Kaylee. Why would Cindy hate Kaylee? I asked myself. We talked about it later, and I came to agree with him, that Cindy couldn't live with the disruption that Kaylee introduced into her family. I remained diplomatically silent, with my objections to some of the perspectives that he sometimes advocated. I often intentionally replied cryptically, so our different points of view could lay out a composite insight that is unique. My reporter and I have different, and often opposing narratives of the evidence. We want our readers to experience the unfolding story with an open mind. This story started out being called the trial of the century in the media. But our narrative let the evidence narrate a new title, the greatest hoax in American criminal history. Here is my reporter's next memo with his analysis.